Alright, I'm gonna push live. Alright, let's see.
Yo, everybody.
Yeah, I think we're live. Are we? Not sure.
We definitely are. We've been live for 34 seconds.
Alright, so I think there's a bit of a delay. There you go. Let us test this microphone if it works.
It's going to be on the headphones.
Yeah. I feel like it doesn't work. Does it?
It works.
It does? Okay. Alright. Alright, so we are live, guys. So welcome to Bring On Live. This is actually my first live video ever. So please bear with me because I'm trying to learn all this technology stuff. Yeah, so today I have a special guest, and that is the fiance, Mr. Grant Muriel. Yeah, so today we are going to talk about career adventures, wedding, relationship, and we're also going to do a little bit of a raffle draw. I think there's 2 winners for my September giveaway, so I'm gonna do a raffle draw for that in the middle of this live stream and as well as at the end. So, yeah, so, all right, so we have a couple of questions here from friends, family, and some of the people who reach out to me. So, what we're gonna do is we've actually grouped these questions together, but if you have questions as well, please put it in the comment section, or do you call it comment section, or the chat section, and then Gran and I are going to answer it as much as we can. So, yeah, can you hear us, guys? I don't know if you can hear us. Let me have a look. All right, so my friend said she can hear me. Hi, Annalyn. All right, so do you want to read the first question?
Which one's the first one?
Yeah, so I think the first one is more related to kind of relationship and as well as adventure. But before that, actually, I forgot. Sorry, I'm so bad about it. Before that, let us give the floor to Grant as he is going to introduce himself.
I love it. I love how that's just a random handover.
I told you about it already.
I'm Grant, the better half of Hazel.
Better half?
110%. There is no delay. There is no problem with that. It's true facts. I don't know. I reckon we've been together, 5 years, engaged last year. Yeah, we've kind of been working together for 5 years as well. It's kind of fairly quick transition. Yeah, that's kind of it about me, really.
So tell us what you do. What do you do? What do you?
It's the hardest question for me to answer.
Yeah, just give a little bit of an overview or a little bit of a background about yourself, so people get to know you a little bit more.
Good question. So here we go. A couple of things about me. I actually have a university certificate that says that I'm an entrepreneur. Not many people can say that one. Fortunate enough to be sort of running a few businesses, a couple of investments at the same time. Yeah, that kind of keeps me busy. Similar things to yourself, like gym, yoga, meditation.
Are you
gratitude.
busy? Are you busy?
Yeah, nah, never.
It's never busy.
Never
Busy, guys.
Never.
No, he's never busy.
Let's get into the first question.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, so you can read the first one because you're my guest.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
All right. So this question. Oh, they didn't want us to let other people know their name. No worries at all. So the first one is, I guess, relationship. Like, you guys travel a lot. How do you manage work and expenses whilst traveling? Well, that's an easy one. Well, it depends on the type of travel.
Yeah.
So we're very fortunate where a lot of the times that we travel, we incorporate a lot of work into sort of what we do. So that really sort of helps manage the expenses because the businesses pay for flights, pay for food, pay for sort of all those little transport expenses. But if it's for us going on a holiday, we'll do what most people do, where we just have another bank account out of a whole heap of bank accounts where we kind of allocate an amount of money where we just want to spend that money on doing whatever we want to do. And we have no problem spending all the money in that account if we really want to, or spending some of it. Literally, it is there just to spend. And so we just use that most of the time on holidays. Like it doesn't really impact us too much. So that's kind of expenses and how we manage expenses. And then work. Work's an interesting one. Like, so obviously, if we're traveling for work, that makes it easy. Taking like some days off, annual leave, kind of things. It hasn't really been too much of a problem while sort of managing work. Like, we have gone over to overseas to places where I've worked from sort of 8 a.m., 7 a.m. in the morning to sort of 6 p.m. And Hazel's gone off and done her thing. Or she's worked alongside me.
There was actually one time, guys, that when was that? Grant has to travel to Europe, not for a vacation, but actually for work. And I think I was sent to Vietnam for a couple of months. So we literally met. I mean, I arrived at the airport like an hour before his flight. So we had a 10-minute probably coffee catch up at the airport. And we haven't like met for how many months?
The worst 10 minutes of my life. Hazel was away for a couple of weeks. I saw her for 10 minutes and I just got miserable. And then I went away for work.
Really?
No, I was just joking. It was a good 10 minutes. It was great. It's like Hazel comes off the plane when, for everyone out there, human beings just never look attractive when they just come off planes, except for Hazel.
And that was the only time that he actually took a photo and posted on his social media when I looked shit and he looked good.
I feel like I was blackmailed on that one. I feel like there was no real choice. I don't really feel like I feel like I don't manage my social media. I feel like I don't manage it. Like,
you know, he never posts a photo of me. He just like, do not ever try and connect with Grant on Facebook or Instagram because he will never ever reply to you. So if you want to connect to Grant, connect on WhatsApp and not on social media.
True story that there is over 90 unread messages, like from 90 different people.
Well, you haven't really answered my message like 3 years ago. You haven't.
Hey, if you want to contact me, go through the correct channels.
If you want any business advice or stuff like that, do not ever contact Grant on social media. Send him an email or WhatsApp. WhatsApp is the best one. Or actually, what other people do at work and what even Grant's cousins and family, they contact me to contact Grant. So I am the bridge.
That's the bridge. Anyway. That's your new nickname. The bridge. All right, so I'm going to ask you this question.
Yep.
So this is from the same person from before. Are you willing to compromise your happiness for a successful relationship? I already know the answer is no, so we can go to the next one.
No,
how do you...
No, of course. I mean, it depends with when you say compromise. But obviously, like, Grant and I used to live in Cebu before, but we actually met in Melbourne. So Grant has an office in Cebu, and we've worked together, guys, for 5 years. Actually, more than 5 years. We've worked together even before we become official. So moving in Melbourne actually is one of the things that I had to compromise because obviously in my age, it's quite difficult to really move to another place and find friends and stuff like that. Because I think the best way to really meet friends is through university, but I've done all those kind of things. So literally I moved to Melbourne with Grant and we worked together. There's a lot of things that I have really compromised, but I think probably this is a compliment. So, probably the best thing about our relationship is we compromise quite a lot in a lot of things.
What?
Yeah, we do.
What?
I am the one that compromises most of the time.
What?
Yes.
This is...
Well, are you willing to compromise?
With what? Well, you tell me what.
Most of... No, I don't know.
See?
Like, okay.
Prove to the world that there's no compromise.
All right, so when I tell you, like when you're really hungry.
Yes.
Are you really, really hungry?
The one, yes.
And
my
I'm
one
also
Achilles
hungry.
heel.
Would you give your meal to me to make me happy? Because I'm still hungry. Would you? And you would starve?
So this scenario has never happened where I am your garbage disposal and all of your uneaten food goes to me.
It's actually the other way around.
And I don't even get a choice. So this is another good thing about no compromises. I don't even get a choice whether I want to eat it or not. I get up and go somewhere and I come back and plates are swapped. Like, I don't even get a choice.
Well, that's what you call compromise. Right, guys? That's what you call compromise.
And by the way, Annalyn has sent a good message, so I'm going to ask it to you. So I'm just going to reverse it. So she did direct it at me, but I just don't want to answer it.
No,
so I'm
you
going to
gotta
reverse
answer it because Annaline's directing it to you. All right. So the question is, hi Annaline. Annaline is actually my maid of honor. She's from London.
Who are you
So
getting
hi,
married
Annaline.
to? Jeez, he
Brad
must be
Pitt.
unlucky.
I'm getting married to Brad Pitt. All right. So question for Grant. This is a good one. I love it. So how did you know that Hazel is the one? I'm winning. Come on, tell the whole world, bro.
She laughs at my bad jokes, and I think that was about it. That was it. Anyone who can, it's interesting. No, I think it was just a myriad of things. I was just getting older, and I couldn't be bothered looking anymore, and so Hazel was around, and it just worked out.
Do you really want me to stick your finger on you right now?
Flip me the bird. No,
no, okay. So let's rephrase the question. So how do you know if that person is the one?
Because you're assuming you're not the one.
No, let's just say, so you will give a better answer.
No, I can answer it about you.
All right.
I can answer it about you. Just let me double check. Like Annaline's assuming that I thought you are the one, by the way. But that's okay. We'll assume that you are. No, I think it was. I'm probably not the easiest person to get along with. I'm probably
definitely not.
Like I'm not high maintenance.
You are in some ways.
But I don't really share emotions. I don't really. Like the conversations that I have are always kind of intellectual specific. Like I don't really sort of chit chat or
like
what do you call it in the Filipinos? Like
chica in Philippines.
I don't really do that kind of stuff, and like I have to wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning or 3:55. I have to get to bed at a certain time, and like there's just no negotiations about it. It's like Hazel and I will be in the middle of the conversation, and I'm out. I'm like done, and so I'm just like, no, it's bedtime. So I think when she could deal with that kind of stuff, I think I just looked at it and said, yeah, you know what, I think this could work. And she laughs at my jokes and she can deal with me. And
I actually think
she's kind of the glue for my family, and it kind of works.
Well, I think I like it when you sleep early because I can have time for myself.
That's brilliant. You need to drink more wine.
Yeah, anyway.
All right.
Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. So the next question, so I'll ask you this one.
Yeah.
So, the next question is similar. So I'm going to skip it. Actually, no. How did you know that I was the one for you?
Whose question is that from? It's not in the notes.
Yeah, number 7. So
yeah.
I'm going to ask you the question. How did you know I was the one?
Well,
be nice.
Well, okay. So I'm probably just going to give a general answer to this.
No. Specifics.
A lot of people say that there is what you call ideal. To be honest, for me, there's really no such word as ideal. I think when you actually met the right person, you would feel it. But for me, the biggest factor why I think Grant is the one is because he is. Don't have a big head after this.
It's already big enough.
Because he is very, very supportive. And when I say he's supportive is I've been to relationships in the past and just jealous, and I hate boys that are jealous. With Grant's never jealous. Actually, even if I would talk to him about my past and stuff like that, he would never get jealous. He would laugh at it. And he's very patient. And I think the biggest factor really is he pushed me to be a better person. I think Grant has helped a lot with my career, and at the same time, he's coached me a lot. I think I'm a different person compared to who I was 5 years ago. Probably the same in a way where I'm still a little bit immature, childish at the same.
Yes.
I'm turning 30 next year, but I feel like I'm still 18, so my jokes are still quite childish at the same time. So yes. Yeah, I think probably the biggest factor is really finding someone, or me being able to have someone that is just very supportive and would always push me to the greatest. Because you don't want someone to actually drag you in.
You got to answer Annaline's question.
All right, Annaline.
Why did you say yes?
Because
peer pressure. So many people.
Pressure, guys. No, so a little bit of a background. Actually, Grant proposed in the middle of Trevi Fountain when we were having our holiday in Rome or in Italy last year, and there were a lot of people, and if there was actually no people there, and if I didn't say Grant shaking, I
You
would
would
have
have said
thought that.
no. You
No,
would have
I would
said
have
no.
thought that he was actually joking. I would have laughed, but I still laughed at it anyway. I didn't actually cry. I cried after because I was so embarrassed that there's a lot of people, and normally if people notice that someone proposed there, they would actually clap and everyone takes photo of you and stuff like that. But anyway, the answer is I said yes because I think he's the one.
Lack of other choices.
Yeah.
I accept it.
Yep. All right, so the next one. All right, so this one is actually from another best friend of mine from the Philippines, but he is now based in Netherlands.
She is.
I mean, she is now based in Netherlands. So, hi friend, hi Leia, hi Fime. Yeah, so question is, what can you advise for those people who cannot accept same-sex relationship? I'm gonna let you answer that, and
So,
I'll just
I can.
put in.
I'm pretty blunt on this one. I think it's just stupid. I think it kind of goes down that same sort of road. Like I can understand the concept of why people have an opinion against it based on religion, based off reproductive organs, based off X, Y, and Z. Right? Like, unfortunately, you can't combat the physiology of a human being. Right? Unfortunately, two men can't have a baby or conceive a child, and unfortunately, two women can't conceive a child. However, if there is a bond deeper than that, who are we to kind of stop it? Right?
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I don't really have, and I really sort of have this view of if they're not really impacting you, why care? Like, what do you care so much to sort of put yourself into other people's positions? Like, I think I always look at it, and as long as someone else is happy, or as long as someone is happy, or the two people are happy, then that's perfect, right? Like, I couldn't care if it's a guy and his dog. I couldn't care. Not in obviously trying to reproduce with a dog, but if they love each other to that extent, well, who cares, man? Like, marriage is essentially a symbol of coming together of two human beings, right? And so relationships exactly the same. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just probably don't have much time for people sort of saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, like, I have a lot of friends that are that are in the LGBTQ community.
TA as well, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, I support them. I love them. I actually love them. I actually probably 40% of my friends are in that community, and I support them. I get a little bit protective sometimes when I hear bad comments against friends because they can't accept and they're just judgmental, you know. But I think we can't really please everyone. Like even with even with the opposite sex relationship, people would still judge you. So we can't just please anyone. So I think probably the best way to deal with it is just to ignore people that can't accept you and just do you.
Yeah, I think
so.
I think that's a really good point. Like it's almost like just ignore it.
Yep.
Like, who cares? Who cares? Like, I know a lot of people, like, for example, and it's not very related to relationships, but like, I do work a lot, I read a lot, most of my time consumes a lot of that kind of stuff, and a lot of people sort of just always ask me a question like, why do you spend so much time sort of educating yourself? Why do you do that stuff? And to be honest, I don't really care. Like, I don't care what other people think. I don't think care if people don't like me because I don't watch sports, and to the extent that they do, like, it's. And you should do the same, right? Whatever makes you happy, whether it's sort of same-sex relationships or otherwise, I can just do it. Who cares? As long as you're not hurting anyone else or damaging anyone else.
Exactly. I don't know why I'm doing that.
That was weird. Stop having wine. All right, so this one, I got to ask you this question.
No, I got to ask you. No, this is my question to you. So this is from a schoolmate of mine. Her name is Minnie B. Hi there. So how do you handle conflicts as a couple? Any advice? I'm gonna let you answer that first.
All right, so there's two answers to this. There's the real answer, and then there's the YouTube answer. Right, so the real answer is when we have a conflict.
He has to say sorry jokes.
No, yeah. So the conflict will go like this. I will very rarely do anything wrong, and then Hazel will get upset.
What?
Wait. I go silent. I become a sponge, and I just absorb it, let it cool down.
No, not a sponge. You become a cabbage.
And then I go back, and for whatever reason, I say sorry, And she realised that after about 2 years that I had to actually start listening to what she was getting upset about so I could say sorry with the reason I'm sorry. Because she used to be like, well, what are you sorry for? And I never used to be able to say, well, why? I'm sorry for this. And so then I had to start listening. And then I would say, look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not plugging the kettle back in after I've unplugged the kettle.
That's like so shallow.
And it was like,
You make me laugh so hard.
And so, but the YouTube answer is we don't have conflicts.
No, I'm gonna answer this one because I think Grant's just not giving you. So I think to handle conflict, I think conflict and fights, either it's big or small, I think it's really normal for relationships, especially when you're living together. That's why I maybe not a lot of people or not everyone would agree to this, but for me, it's really important to live with your other half first before getting married. And the reason for that is that it's just good to get to know him or her before actually that commitment. But I think with Grant and I, how to handle conflict, we talk about it. So most of the time, Grant wants to talk about it during the situation, whereas I'm very different. So
Yes.
I think in this sense, Grant is most likely like the woman where he just wanna talk, and me, I just wanna say like, man, give me some time.
No. So I've spoken to people about this, right? And there is no sexist parts of
all right,
this.
so I'm gonna remove that part.
No. And so what it actually is, so a lot of the times, and I don't mean any disrespect, men are very logical human beings, right? And I actually believe that my mother is watching this at the same time, and she will back me up on this because I've actually spoken to her about it as well.
Sean has a question.
And so women enjoy sharing an emotion, even if it's illogical.
It's nature, bro.
Right? Even if it's illogical.
It's nature.
And men can't. We would never design. Well, actually, not men.
That's
most
trying to generalize.
I
Because
can
it's not
generalize.
every man.
No. So
I
that's
have
why I
friends
said
that
that's
are
why I said
actually-
most. Correct.
Yes.
So most men are super logical human beings. So you got to remember, my mind is very logical in the sense of the problem you're complaining about does not equal the fight that you're trying to have with me. Therefore, let's just get it over and done with and solve today.
Anyway.
And so men are logical, women are emotional, and so women enjoy talking about it and
I
slowing
can be
it down.
logical too.
Just not in an argument.
Anyway, so when we have a conflict, let's get straight into it. We have a conflict. So normally I would take my time. I would cool down a little bit because the last thing, I think it's probably more on getting mature or I've learned a lot from my past relationship as well that when you're angry, you shouldn't actually talk because sometimes when you're angry and you're emotional, you actually tend to talk something or say something stupid that you don't mean. So I would normally tell Grant, can we talk when I'm feeling better or can we talk tomorrow? But then the next day, the bad thing about me is I actually forget that we have a conflict.
So I don't talk to you because I'm sitting there, I'm like, she said she's going to talk to me tomorrow. And then it's just like silent.
And then Grant would wonder, like, why are you so happy? Or not really one day. Sometimes, like, I would forget after an hour that we actually had a little bit of an argument. And Grant would be, like, so confused why I'm suddenly happy. And I'm just like, let's go somewhere. And Grant would, like...
The best times are when you get upset. And then an hour later, you're like, are you hungry? I'm like, yes. And then it's, like, all over. It's, like, done. Like,
Anyway. So I think the answer for that is communication. Communication is very important with handling conflicts.
I would agree with that.
And communication, and you have to try and you have to compromise. So I've said this to a lot of friends, weddings and stuff like that when I'm doing speech, that it's really important that when the other half is really hot, you have to cool down. Because if you're both hot, you're going to explode.
That's never happened to us.
Not really. We don't really have big fights. No, we don't really have big fights.
All
Our
right.
fights is most likely like Grant.
So Sean's asked you a great question. Hey, Sean, see? And
hi,
Bob?
Sean, and hi, Apple.
So what do you do when I am lazy and don't want to work out with you?
That happened quite a lot lately, actually.
Oh, yeah, lately, yeah.
Yeah. Normally, I would just push Grant, and I think I actually intimidate him when I keep on pushing him, but I would just tell him that... Should I share? Is it workout? Did he say workout?
Yeah, workout.
Yeah. I'd normally say that. So I'm very into work. Do you call it work-life balance?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm very into work-life balance, and I know that during lockdown, it's quite difficult actually to not break work because you're inside the house. You wake up, you eat in exactly the same place, and especially we're living in an apartment, we really need an icebreaker or something that is not related to work or not related to us, but just something that could benefit ourselves. So every time Grant is lazy to do workout, I would just keep on bugging him like, "Hey, when are you working out? Hey, when are you working out? All right, you can use the you can use the dumbbells. Hey, when are you working out? Use the app." And I would never stop until he actually starts working out. And to be honest, it's the same as well. The when I feel lazy, Grant sometimes would carry me and put me on the yoga mat until I start working out. And
See?
sometimes when I feel
Moral support.
down and lazy, he would start dancing. Come on, bro.
Actually, I did that. We did that today. Like it
Yeah.
was Michael Jackson's "Smooth Criminal" is the greatest pick-me-up song ever. So here we go. There is a question here from Annalyn, by the way.
There's another question from Apple. How do you separate work and love? Ooh,
Wait, you're assuming they're different things. Like, wait, they're not different. Work is love. Love is
quite
work.
difficult. How do we separate it? So, I'll probably give a little bit of a background. So, Gran and I has worked together even before we become official. So, let's say 5 years and a half, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, 5 years, 5.5 years. Um, at the start, it was quite difficult because way back then, I don't really have a lot of experience. There was a lot of conflict between working with your partner who's also your boss because you get a bit of a conflict with other people that you're working with. And I won't go further in that, but at the start, it was quite difficult to separate it because like our conflict is not really related to jealousy. I think both of us are not jealous too. We trust each other, but the conflict that we had was most likely related to work. But then it took quite a bit of time. A lot of couples they don't they would like either stop working together or separate, or they would be able to continue just working together and they would get along. So Gran and I, it took us probably 2 years or 1 year and a half to really get along. And I think it's a very difficult question because I think it's really a nature for us to just we always our conversation is always about business and a lot of intelligent stuff. So I don't know if that's actually a separation between work and love, but normally on the weekend we have a day on the weekend which is a Saturday where we actually do a couple day and we go to a winery or we do our dates and we do whatever we want to do on that day where it's all about the relationship. But then during that day we talk a lot about work and as well as business at the same time, but we're quite okay with that. Sometimes when work is really stressful, I would tell Grant I don't want to talk about work, but we talk about something else that is still related to business. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you should always put a time between every day, not just on the weekend. But I think it's always important that as a couple, if you work together, you put like after 5 p.m. or after 6 p.m. Let's not talk about work. Let's talk about it's all about our relationship and there's no work related. Or like every weekend you should always spend some time, like just quality time between yourself and your kids and stuff like that. Do you think I'm right? Maybe you have an input as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you've said, and it's funny. I don't think there is a perfect seesaw, right? Like if I was to play out a normal week for us, and it's changed a little bit with like in Melbourne, lockdown for 6 months, right? Like in all fairness, from Monday to Friday, it is almost like I will wake up at 4 and Hazel can never talk to me for 2 hours. Like I do my 2 hour routine, but then Hazel wakes up sort of after that, like an hour or so after that, and then she has like her own routine that I can't interrupt her on. Yeah. And so literally we don't eat breakfast together. We don't sort of see each other together until kind of lunchtime, even though we're living in our apartment. And so then it kind of gets to lunch and one of us will just have like a 30-minute break and we'll cook and we'll sort of eat together. And when we eat together, it's like, how's YouTube subscribers going? How's sales going? And like it's usually like
subscribers.
Yeah, it's usually like work related. And then I'll usually have sort of meetings into the evening. Hazel will sort of whip up a killer meal. And then, like, interestingly enough, because I get to sleep at like 9 o'clock, the only time during Monday to Friday that we have together is kind of 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the same even when the offices were open. And so we would try and dedicate one night a week during that Monday to Friday to talk about finances, to talk about like a plan, like whose birthdays are coming up, what do we need to do, who do we need to send stuff through to. And then, as Hazel said, Saturday is relationship day.
Yeah.
So we'll go and see our friends together. We'll go and to a winery together. We'll go and do something together. And it's family day. So we don't have kids. So it'll be family day. And then Sunday's separate day. So on Sundays, I do my own thing. Hazel does her own thing. Like it's not work. Well, for me, it's quite work related. For Hazel, it might be like
I think
YouTube
there's really
stuff.
There's three aspects to it. So there is work. Time together, relationship time together, and also your time with yourself, your own time. I think it's very important. You can't just, for me, maybe some other people would not agree with this, but for me, it's important to also have time to yourself, not just relationship, because I don't know. I think probably if Gran and I are like together 24/7 and we talk and lovey-dovey and stuff like that, I would probably get so suffocated or maybe get so, I don't know. I'd probably get tired of your face if we are like, we're so close together every time.
And I think a complexity on top of that as well, Paul, would be like sort of the founder of the company where the partner's like sort of not a founder, right? Like that just adds more complexity to it because as a founder, you sort of, or a CEO or otherwise, you're trying to push the boundaries of a company and you're trying to push everyone in the company to excel, right? And you kind of don't want people to bring personal life into work and you don't sort of want to do it. But like if you're not on good terms with your partner, right, both of you are kind of bringing that rubbish into the business.
Yeah.
And like I'm very fortunate where I'm very fortunate that over many, many years I've kind of been able to remove that emotion a bit. Like it still kind of can get to me, but it's kind of the game faces on. But like those are just conversations that have to happen. Like I know we've sort of had a couple of conversations where it's like, oh, we just got to pull our head in, we just got to pick it up. I know like sometimes like if we have sort of had a bit of a rough time together, in personal times, like Hazel might sort of take a couple of hours in the morning and then she'll just work into the evening or vice versa kind of thing. So it's and the one thing is trying to make sure that sort of other people don't think that that's favoritism or whatever. I can't remember the exact word.
Actually, I just realized that now.
Nepotism is the word I was looking for.
Sorry, I just realized that I think we kind of have different persona. We are very different at work.
What?
Like
Really?
I think so, because like at work, our clients don't actually know that we're together, and we never share it. We don't really say that we're not together. We just don't really share it. Most clients, they would find out that we're together when they see our Facebook or social media, but we don't disclose it. And the reason for that is just, it's probably more on just, I don't know. It's just, I think it's difficult if client knows that you're together and then probably like, especially with Grant owning a part. I mean, you own a part of the business where I'm working. There might be a bit of a change with the way you treat someone or the way, I mean, how do you call that one? Expectations. Like they might expect something that Grant does that I don't do and stuff like that. So we don't disclose it. So we're pretty good at that sense where we actually don't, like no one, you would never know that we're together at work. Never. We even have, I think in the past we worked with people before that they never know we're together until someone said it or stuff like that. And there was also a time where we were actually walking and after work, obviously we hold hands when we're walking. Not all the time. Sometimes when we're in good mood. And we actually bump into our client.
That was funny. And like
we bumped into our client. I was like, hey, client.
That was funny. That was good.
But yeah, anyway, yeah.
So next question. All right. So this is a question to you. So do you care if the man earns more than the woman or the other way around?
No, not necessarily. I don't really care. But what I care about is, and I'm being very, very honest in this video, what I care about is, I don't care if, for example, I don't care if I earn more than my other half or my other half earns more, but what I care is if my other half is actually, how do you call it? If my other half is actually doing something in his life, um, or with his career as well, because I'm a very career driven person, and I don't think I can be with someone lazy, or I can be with someone who is just happy to not have a job and receive, how do you call, government grant. So I can't be with someone like that. So I don't, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. It doesn't matter what work you have, as long as you have a goal to hit and you're working on that goal, I think. What about you?
I'd love it.
I think you
If
would
you-
love it if I earn
Dude,
more.
I would be the greatest Mr. Mum ever.
You'd like, I'm gonna,
dude, I
when we
would
have
be
kids,
so
you're like, I'll
chill.
look after the kids.
Man, I'd be the
I'll have my
greatest
coffee
dad.
every day,
Oh,
and
man.
you go and work.
I would just sit there, like, read books, like, just do anything.
You'd be so bored.
Oh,
like,
man,
you
it'd be
get so bored.
amazing. No,
Yeah.
to be honest, I couldn't care less. It's, yeah, you can earn more than me. It doesn't faze me at all.
Yeah.
And again, like, it's interesting, right? And I relate it back to people in this world. Like, there are some super, super, super smart people who earn a lot less than just so silly people. Like, I know quite a lot of entrepreneurs who are just not very intellectual that just make a lot of money. And it's not anything, it's just right place, right time, solving the right problem for the right people. And it just has nothing to do with anything. And who cares, right? Like, whether they're male, female, or otherwise. It's nothing. I think the key to it, though, is as long as you can both talk about finances. I think that's key.
All right. So the other one, there's another question from Annalyn. I can't actually read properly. Can you read it for me, please?
From Annalyn.
Yeah, I can't on my eyes.
Oh, how have you experienced imposter syndrome?
Where is it?
If so, how did you deal with it?
What's imposter? Can you explain it?
Where someone was, I believe, where someone's pretending to be who they're not.
I don't know. I can't. Probably I haven't. Or maybe in a different way. Is it? I don't know, but maybe with personality, like I haven't really trying to act like someone I'm not. But
Have you had someone else?
how about you? Have you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had some employees that sort of perceived that they were better than they were. That's probably the closest around it. No, I do know some entrepreneurs that have tried to represent sort of better than they
better than
they actually were. And unfortunately, I got into business with a couple of them, and it didn't work out that well. And so I think the key to it is more recognize it early. I think that's kind of it.
Is it a bad thing in some ways, or do you think?
Oh, it's just people aren't being themselves, right? And it's unfortunate, especially in the business world, right? Like the way that you get yourself across most deals, or the way that you sell the most, or perceive to be selling the most, is kind of that ego, but ego beyond the boundaries of truth, to the extent that it becomes an imposter, right? Like it's not true.
Is it another? I have another example. Is this a part of it where someone tells you that you look like you don't actually feel good, and then even if you feel good, you start feeling like you don't feel good? Is that
no?
Or different?
It's imagine that imagine I work full time and I have a side business.
Yeah.
And I tell you how successful the side business is and how it's going really, really well, And in truth be told, I've only got one sale.
No, I haven't had that experience.
Cool.
All right, so Jai said, my sister Jai.
Jai 364 times.
Shout out, please. Hi, Jai.
You're not meant to say when they ask for a shout out. You meant to just shout them out.
I haven't done live before, so.
And Leia, you missed your shout out too, by the way.
Where?
Leia.
I can't actually read. Hey, friend, Leia.
You missed it.
Hi, friend. Hi, time.
Hang on, wait.
All right,
hi, Mom.
Let's say hi, Mom. Hi, Momsy. Jennifer, Muriel, Brad's mom. She did say a couple of things.
The boss. There. All right. You asked this question, answer it because I got to get the.
All right.
The
so
raffle.
The next one is where are we? There you go. So a lot of people are asking this one. So all right. So get the raffle draw, and then we'll answer this one together. So the question is, where and when are you getting married? Is it in Australia or is it in the Philippines? So I'm gonna answer this one while Grant is trying to get the raffle draw. So good question about the wedding, guys. There's a bit of a conflict with weddings because of the coronavirus and the lockdown, all these restrictions happening in the world. But basically, Grant and I are planning to do a very intimate destination wedding. So it's a very, very small wedding. And that's the reason why I couldn't, unfortunately, invite everyone from my side. It's because it's a very small wedding. So we plan to get married in Boracay, Philippines. It's a To those who don't know Boracay, Boracay is an amazing, amazing island in the Philippines with white beach, and it's one of our favorite destination or one of our favorite beach or island in the world. So it's meant to be in November this year, but obviously we can't really travel, guys. We're stuck, and I think Melbourne has the strictest lockdown in the world. So we are moving it to next year, which is in April. But we had a conversation with our wedding planner, and it might be postponed again. So we haven't really decided yet, but it might be postponed. It's only because Melbourne has a very, very strict lockdown, and we don't actually know when the international travel will actually resume. And by the way, wedding planner, we've got a really, really good wedding planner. It's
Shout out for us.
shout out for our wedding planner, Amanda Tirol. She's very, very good. She makes everything so easy for me. I haven't actually felt how do you call this one? I haven't really felt what's the term? Stress out about the wedding. I just give it all to Amanda, and Amanda sort it out for us.
Ah.
Yep.
I'm going to jump onto Annalyn's point.
All right.
So I got imposter syndrome around the wrong way. So imagine what I was saying, but in reverse. So essentially, it's where someone doubts what they've already accomplished to the extent that they start believing that themselves are fraud. To be perfectly honest with you, Annalyn,
I think I've experienced that one.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. Interestingly enough, I reckon that. Yeah, I reckon that I would probably be. I would probably feel that way most of the time. To be honest with you, I think it sort of comes with a lot of uncertainty, and so especially today, I even had a call with a guy from Los Angeles about his SaaS company and sort of how he can do sort of better machine learning and how he can sort of deal with his data better.
Yeah.
And I have faced all of the problems that he's talking about like 3 times before in 3 different businesses, walked him through exactly what he needed to do and how I approached it and all those kind of things. And sort of walking it through, I'm like, well, I'm not a data scientist. I'm not sort of the best expert at it, but I can point him in the right direction. And so it was more like that kind of self-doubt in me going, am I the best for this? But he was super grateful and really positive for it and things like that. And so
how do you deal with it?
So I don't know. I think it's almost like accepting it, right? Yeah. And you've got 2 people in this world. You've got people who, as I was sort of saying before, who overexert, like have this massive ego and pretend like they're something that they're not. Yeah. Then you've got the other people who is probably more myself. Like, to be brutally honest, I remember talking to one of my mentors 2.5 years ago, and I said to him, I said, sure, I've had quite a bit of business success, but how I don't compare to the Warren Buffetts of the world. I don't compare to like the Steve Jobses and all that kind of stuff. So who am I? And I was charging people to do some coaching work and mentoring them through their business. I'm like, how do I know when I become the expert? Like, how do I know that I'm good enough? Like, how do I know that I am always going to point them in the right direction, always going to do the best thing for them, et cetera, et cetera? And that was me, sort of, to your point, having that feeling of, well, am I a fraud? Like, I feel like I can add value to a lot of businesses. I feel like I add enough value where I could charge them for it, and I think I do a better job than most. But there's always that kind of unease, that uncertainty within you, and I think that's everything. I think that's most people, right? Especially if you've got a very modest kind of ego, and like I never think of myself as quite a smart person.
So how do you deal with it? Like,
I think you just like all I've had to do is kind of accept it, right? And I don't know, and it's actually probably done me a detriment. Like I'm not like we've got sort of Chauncey on the call, and Chauncey is someone I admire as an entrepreneur. He is absolutely a fantastic human being and
Yeah.
extremely successful, and I think he probably does it better than I do. Where sort of he exerts that authority, he exerts sort of that confidence, and he's sort of done it and proved it, right? And forever in my life, I always sort of meet entrepreneurs that are better than me and have more experience than me and more notches on their belt, a couple of like decades older than me and stuff like that. And I think it's more just acceptance.
Yeah.
I think you just accept that when you sort of don't feel comfortable and don't feel confident, you just accept that you're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of how
That's
I'll
really
go.
good. Yeah, I couldn't think of a really good example with this scenario, but I probably had this before, and I couldn't remember how I actually deal with it. Most of the time, I just sleep and then forget the next day or accept and try and
Just
improve myself.
Ignore it.
Yeah, just ignore it. I'm the queen of ignoring people.
So do you want to go down to row 15?
Yeah, so let's 1 second. So let's just answer this one. Has COVID affected your wedding plans? What has changed?
Patrick,
I think I've already
great.
answered that one.
Agree with you, Patrick. Unfortunately, he's taken.
What's that? Chauncey
He said
really
that Chauncey
great.
is great. He's taken though, mate. I tried. He's taken. I think he's dedicated to a lovely woman.
Yeah. All right. So has COVID affected your wedding? You can answer that one. I think I've answered this one before. Yes, it did affect our wedding. I actually don't know when are we getting married. God knows.
We just had a conversation with the
Yeah.
planner like yesterday or whenever it was. And it looks like, hey, Mum, by the way, it looks like the wedding's going to be delayed.
Yeah, we don't know.
I'll call you about it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
We'll
it's
see
just,
how we go.
especially with Melbourne, like there's no flights in,
Yeah.
no flights out. Like it's kind of locked down.
It hasn't
so-
really. I mean, it's quite okay with us. I already have my wedding dress, by the way. I need to pick it up. I haven't picked it up because of the lockdown, but it's quite okay for us. Like we're not really. It's not like we're pressured to get married. Probably the thing that it quite affected us is just the post wedding plans, where we have a couple of plans for our. We have some plans. We couldn't share it yet. But obviously that plan has to wait for maybe another year or two because of the pandemic. So that's the only part that affected us. But we're just trying to work it through.
Yeah, and the plan's buying a boat.
What boat?
All right.
All right, so now we're going to do our first raffle draw. So to those who actually joined my September giveaway, so I'm going to be giving...
And this was the best bowl I could find, I swear.
So I'm going to be giving 2 Starbucks gift certificate worth 500 peso each. So let's do the first one.
All right. Oh, jeez.
I'm going to let you, actually, I'm going to hold it. And you...
This way.
There you go.
We'll go this one. All right. Actually, you can call it out.
All right. Oh! The first winner. It's Madame Bridget Joy Dumalaog. There you go. Oh, there you go. All right. So I might write it down. Can you write it down in there?
Yep. You
All
pick the
right,
next one.
so-
I'll write this down and you pick the next
No,
one.
we'll do the next one at the end.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So, Madame, please reach out to me and I will be giving you the voucher.
All right. You can answer the next question whilst I type this out.
All right. So what's the next question? What's
Oh, sorry.
actually you
What's
can
a silly habit
All right, what's
you
a
guys
silly-
have now that you don't tell a lot of people about? So whilst I'm typing this out, you answer it.
silly habit. And by the way, guys, this question is from Elaine and Anderson, one of my very, very close friends from the Philippines or from Cordova. So hi there. Silly habits. I'm quite shy to share it. Probably. So Grant, should I share it? I'm a little bit shy.
I have no idea what you're going to say.
So, depending on my mood on a Saturday and depending on Grant's mood, he plucks my underarm. And he loves it, guys. He loves it. It's like it's only like 10 minutes of his time, but I think that's really weird. I don't know if other couple does that. But
Does it count as bonding?
we do.
Like, does it count as like us like growing our relationship together?
I don't know, probably.
All right, so you got this horrible one
Yeah.
where you got this phobia of like.
About-
So Hayes got this phobia of people who don't have clean ears, right? Like she's got. There was this. You had like a boyfriend when you were growing up who didn't clean his ears, and you ended up breaking up with the poor guy because he didn't clean his ears. And
I don't know, guys, but I have
Hazel
something.
cruises around, and randomly she just starts checking my ears. Have you cleaned your ears?
Can you?
Like, and I don't endorse it at all, but
Well,
it's definitely a weird thing to do, that's for sure. And there's not too many people I tell about that one. Oh, and probably the other one is that Hazel puts cheese on a pizza at the start of making the pizza, not at the end of making a pizza.
well, that's what every photo I see online. That
not
they
how you
actually
make a
the
pizza.
toppings is on top of the cheese. I
No.
think it depends. I don't think it's really weird. I think you're the
Not
weird
the same.
one.
All right. So here we go. A question for you. This is a good one.
Okay.
So, what is a place in the world you want to see but you haven't seen?
Place in the world.
One.
One. Ooh, Africa. I want to see. I think Filipinos are very familiar with Anne Curtis. So Anne Curtis had her honeymoon in Africa, and even before that, I really wanted to visit Africa. I want to see wildlife, and I just want adventure, like adventure that is quite scary at the same time. Like I want to do what Anne Curtis and Erwan did, where
Literally, you're just modeling this whole thing.
no. I actually was thinking of that, but I'm saying this because friends could understand it because they know the actress.
Got it.
So they went on a tour where they were actually able to see some orangutan, like the wild ones, the really really big ones.
Monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah, gorilla.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, is it orangutan gorilla, like the big ones?
They're the orange ones?
I don't know. I
think
can't
the
remember.
orangutans are
Yeah.
orange.
And just seeing some, wildlife and stuff like that. Africa. How about you?
So, I've said this to people for a long time, probably for about
I think Japan.
7 to 8 years. So, I've always had this. I love habits and I love routine and I love when people put the heart and soul into anything. And so, there's an amazing movie on Netflix called
Okay, I know.
I Dream of Sushi, or Hero Dreams of Sushi. Absolutely fantastic movie, and it's about this guy who just spent decades and basically his whole life sort of mastering sushi. And I think the best culture in the world for that is like Japan. I think the Japanese have just got this amazing culture which breaks social norms, but they also dive deep into like the dedication behind like a bonsai tree. Is that these people will dedicate their entire life to bonsai, right? And they will master their craft to do nothing more than pass it on. And so I've had many opportunities to go to Japan, and I've deliberately said no to every single opportunity because I only want to go to Japan when I can sit there and absorb the culture and literally, and I don't mean this in a stupid thing, spend a lot of money experiencing the best things that Japan has to offer.
Guys, you want to spend thousands of AUD
just
to,
for food,
to eat
everything.
the best sushi.
Yeah, and there's a steak there that I just want to do.
Yeah.
And so I literally have not gone because I've just held it so true. And so originally I wanted our honeymoon to be in Japan. I don't know if I'm going to get it because I think I'm going to lose to Africa. But it's...
No. We can do Japan and Africa. How about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. So there you go. And I'll ask the last question. Hazel, what is your favourite city?
Favorite city that I've ever been? I would say probably it's Dubrovnik, Croatia. It's amazing, guys. I think just Croatia itself is amazing. It's like you're in a different world, or it's not like Gran and I obviously traveled a lot, but Dubrovnik is just next level. Like the architecture there, the history behind there, it's just amazing. It's like you're in a castle. You're actually in another world. It brings you to a different world. It's just amazing, and you see the view of the ocean and the food there. The people are so friendly. It's just amazing. How about you?
It's funny. I was actually listening to you as opposed to thinking for my answer.
Yeah. So what's your answer? City that you've been. I know your answer. Cebu. Manila.
Amazing.
Manila.
The concrete jungle is up there. No. So I reckon there'd be a close runner-up. So I love Berlin, and I think there was a lot of stories
Germany,
and
Berlin.
Germany, Berlin. There's the history behind it and all that kind of stuff. But I think my favorite one, and I've been there quite a few times, is Rome in Italy. I think the Roman Empire is
Where you proposed.
phenomenal. I think there's just there is just an appreciation and a love of that city. Like even if you cruise through the Vatican, you're kind of walking on tiles that have been around for thousands.
Hey,
and
what
thousands
about
of years.
Florence?
Nah, Florence is good, but it just doesn't have the historical sort of parts.
I think I'm more on Grant is more on history, whereas me, I'm more on food. I love Florence because of that. How do you call
Panini.
that? Panini. They have like the best panini there.
And Leia, yes, Amsterdam is good, but
yeah, we gotta go there as well.
so I've been. We've never gone together, but it just wasn't as good as like a Rome. It wasn't as good.
Aw, wow.
All right.
All right, so I think we could probably add one more question. Is there any other questions there?
No, it's this one.
All right, so now we have a game. So we have
Do you want to do the next raffle?
Here.
Or are you happy with?
No, let's.
We've only got 5 minutes left. So
all right, so let's do a raffle. Okay,
all right.
Let's do a raffle first.
Hold up.
Yeah, there you go. Alrighty.
I'm gonna hold it up here so you can't reach it.
Yeah.
All right, go. No cheating. No cheating. Here we go. No cheating. No cheating. No cheating. No cheating. No cheating. No cheating.
Oh, all right. You can read that one.
All right. Winner chicken dinner is, Norliza and Tigly.
All right.
Is that an Australian pronunciation of that word?
This is actually JJ's best friend. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it. So Norly, please reach out to me. Norliza and Tigly.
All right, I'll type it out.
Yeah.
So whilst I'm typing this out, game time.
Yep, game time. All right. So we're gonna ask a question.
What is the weirdest smell you've ever smelt?
Oh, this is very easy. Grant's fart. It's very weird, guys. It stinks. Sorry.
That's terrible.
Yeah. How about you?
I reckon it's volcanoes. I think volcanoes, like the sulfur.
Like
The sulfur is horrible. All right, what's the best Wi-Fi name you've ever seen?
Come to Sugar Daddy.
Come to Sugar Daddy.
Best or worse? Oh, weird is come to Sugar Daddy.
Come to Sugar Daddy. That's
I'm just making it up.
brilliant.
I actually don't know.
That's brilliant. I reckon I was staying in an Airbnb in, I can't remember, it might have been like Singapore or Hong Kong or something like that. And it was like, connect here if you want to be hacked. And I think it's the greatest Wi-Fi name because I immediately read it and go, I'm definitely not clicking on that one just in case someone's set up to click here or connect here if you want to get hacked.
Oh. I think it's a common one.
It's funny. So our modem sort of pushes out like a 5G and a 2G signal or something like that. And so I set it up to be so simple for Hazel because she couldn't connect to it. And so I renamed it like connect here first. And then it's like, if it doesn't work, and then the next one is connect here second.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Just so it was so basic.
Sorry. All right. So next one. So if animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
Tajir.
How do they sound like?
Well, if they could talk, they obviously can't talk. That would be the rudest, I reckon. Look
Oh,
at their
really?
eyes. They're so judging.
Oh, really?
They just look at you and you look like a Tajir. And then, so for everyone who doesn't know, a Tajir is a little tiny monkey.
Yeah, you can find them in Bohol.
Absolutely
Philippines.
amazing looking monkey. But their eyes are just so disproportionate to their body. Like their eyes are just way too big. I don't trust them. I believe that they would be the rudest human being. Like they just watch you and I just don't trust them. I reckon they would be rude, cynical, angry.
I don't know which one's
Hey,
the rudest.
Norlise is on. You got a Starbucks. Congratulations.
All right, message me and I'll give you the Starbucks. JJ will organize that one. Congratulations, Norley. What about London?
No one wants to go to London, Annalyn. No one wants to go to London.
No one wants to see Big Ben.
No one cares about Big Ben.
I would actually visit London one day.
No one does.
One day.
No one.
Shut up.
What animal do you think would be the rudest if they could talk?
See, I don't even know the sounds of the animal.
But if they could talk,
who
do you think would be the rudest? I think monkeys are pretty up there, but
maybe chickens because they're so loud. They're so loud and they're just annoying.
No, I think they would keep. I think they would be the type of people in the street that talk to themselves.
Or maybe a snake, because you would always feel like
you reckon
you have to.
I feel like you haven't thought through this. All right, I'm going to ask you the next question.
All right.
All right. So if you had to become an inanimate object, which is something that doesn't do anything, for a year, what object would you choose to be?
Would laptop be
Laptop?
acceptable? Yeah,
Yes.
what would be a laptop?
Why would you be a laptop?
Because hey, everyone use laptop and it's intelligent. It can do whatever you want. It can support work and everything else.
That's fantastic.
What about you?
Well, I was just thinking through this. I reckon if you wanted a cheesy answer, it would have to be like a book. I reckon a book would be an awesome thing to do. But if you wanted,
But what book?
No, that's a tough question.
So people read you.
I reckon it'd be.
Well, you can also read through your laptop, so I think laptop is more useful.
No, I reckon it'd be a book. I reckon it'd be good because people throw laptops away. They don't throw books away. All right. Yes. In one sentence, how would you sum up the internet?
Answer first.
In one sentence, how would I sum up the internet? It would be. Oh man, it would have to include words: narcissism, hate.
Well, that's not really a sentence; it's a word.
Yeah, so
maybe put a word.
I'm putting the key words that I can fill out a sentence in. Knowledge, power, and money, all in one. So to be narcissism, hate, knowledge, power, and money would be how I'd summarize the internet.
Yeah, maybe probably hate. Yeah, it's probably quite similar. Hate, knowledge, and because internet is really good in a way, it helps us with everything, but there's also a lot of disadvantages and advantages to it.
Amen, brother.
Amen. Okay, so what's the next one?
Do you want to ask this one?
If you could replace all of the grass in the world with something else, what would it be? Yeah, that's a good one.
Marshmallows.
I would replace it with macadamia nuts because I love them. I just want to pick them and eat them. Yes.
All right. If you had a pet parrot, what would you teach it to say? We're 1 minute over, so you got to go quick.
Bring on life.
That was the greatest marketing play ever. I'm not even going to answer. I reckon that was perfect.
What about you?
No, I don't even need to answer anymore. That was fantastic. All right, let's go to the very, very last one.
Would you rather have would you rather have a third eye or third arm? A third eye at my back. What about you?
Really?
Yeah. So
how many times has something wrong happened to you?
No, so when I'm looking for something and I can't see it in front of me, my other eyes can watch.
Nah, man.
Can look for it. I don't know.
Nah, man. A third arm. I could type faster. I could do so much more with a third arm.
All right. So what is something you refuse to share?
Hazel's weight.
Why?
Or your height. Though one of those two. Hazel's weight or Hazel's height. I refuse to share to people.
I'm happy to share my height. I'm 5 foot flat.
I'm just not going to say it. I know I get in trouble.
What is something you refuse to share? My savings.
That's true.
Savings.
That's
I
true.
wouldn't say how much savings I have. Yeah. All right. So I think that's pretty it. What time is it? I think we're 2 minutes over. But yeah, that was really good. It is our first live, guys. And I hope you guys had fun. We're going to try and do it probably every month when I'm doing a giveaway. So I can also do a bit of a raffle draw as to who wins.
Actually, comment below. Like Hazel's tossing up like the previous giveaway was like yoga mat, like an exercise mat.
Oh, yeah.
And this one was like Starbucks vouchers. And so we know quite a lot of people in the Philippines. There's some people in London, Europe, Australia, etc. So comment like anything. I don't think Hazel really cares what it is. So if you got any good recommendations
for
let me know,
a
or let Hazel
giveaway
know.
prize.
Not a house or a car,
Not
please.
a house or a car, please, because I can't afford that,
Maybe-
guys. But
maybe
maybe
not that
something related to fitness if you want. But yeah, put the recommendation in the comment below or the live chat section below, and I would have a look at that. All right, so great talk. Hi, Patrick, Miguel. Thanks for the comment. So yeah, that was really, really, really good. Thank you so much for your time today, bro.
Woo!
This is actually our couple night, so it's one of those nights where Grant has to say yes. He doesn't have any choice, guys. He has to say yes because I said so.
That's about right.
All right, guys. So I hope you can subscribe on my channel. I actually just created a 21-day challenge. I'm trying to do more videos to upload for that challenge, and it's gonna be 5 workout videos that you can do every. 5 workout videos that you can do every week for 3 weeks. So I really hope you can follow along with me, guys, and hopefully in the next couple of weeks I can do more videos with related to healthy food or any recipe, or if you have any suggestion that you want me to do or you want me to post workouts or anything else, most likely workouts, please put your comment below and I'll make that happen. So
And what does everyone need to do?
What's that?
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, so guys, I'm really bad at this. I'm still learning, guys. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and like this or like my videos and subscribe to my channel, guys, so you'll get notifications for my next video.
And don't forget to bring on life.
And bring on life, guys. So that's it for tonight. Have a good day and enjoy your weekend. See ya.
Ciao.
Ciao. How do I